Every year there are a lot of launches, drives and rides. There is a lot to look forward to and most of the time it's both fun and hectic. But there are some motorcycles that keep me up in the night one night before I have to ride them, and this is one of them. Say hello everyone to the BSA Gold Star 650. Now, although the bike is new, the brand BSA itself isn't. BSA, or Birmingham Small Arms, was first founded in 1861 and they established their first motorcycling department in 1903. By 1910, they had their first one ready. In that way, BSA's has a rich heritage and the Gold Star 650 has a lot to live up to. Well, does it? That's what we're here to find out. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe to the AutoToday YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to stay notified every time we make a new video upload. So, without further ado, let's get all the numbers, facts and figures out of the way first.
A 320mm disc handles the front braking duties, while the front wheel is an 18-inch unit with a 190 profile. The 36-wire spoke wheels do look the part, but would be quite a pain in the event of a puncture. Front suspension duties are handled by a 41mm telescopic fork, and these go up to the retro twin-pod instrument cluster, which I will get into in a bit. Then there's the 12-litre fuel tank, which can feel slightly less from a touring perspective. The saddle height is a comfortable 780mm, and the rear suspension duties are taken care by twin shock absorbers, which get 5-step adjustability for preload. The rear wheel is a 17-inch unit with a profile of 150/70. Both tires are Pirelli Phantom Sports Comps, which feel quite premium on the go.
With all the important numbers, facts and figures out of the way, let's talk about the Gold Star's design, shall we?
Let's begin with that old world round halogen headlamps and twin pod instrument cluster that we spoke about earlier. I also adore the fact that all the warning signal indicators sit inside a round cluster, which feels like a lovely blend of modern and retro aesthetics. The offset fuel filler cap and that white paint that runs down the beautiful metal fuel tank with that famed BSA logo also looks quite gorgeous. The chrome in there is the only acceptable way of using it, in my opinion at least. One thing that slightly sticks out for me is a rather large charging port with both Type A and C points, but having both is definitely a plus. The wire spoke wheels that we spoke about earlier as well, along with the engine casing, are also an ode to the old school, and I like the fact that the brand has put an effort to make it look like the BSAs of yore. However, the plastic side panels and the styling of the rear fender and tail lamp could have been slightly better in my opinion, strictly from a design and finish standpoint. Overall though, BSA is done very well, but some fit and finish could have been slightly better.
That's my 2 cents on the BSA Gold Star 650 design. But what do you think of it? I know design is a subjective matter and I would love to get your take in the comment section below. But now it's time to see if it rides as well as it looks. Let's get out there.
The most important factor here is that Rotax sourced engine. Yes, this is the same Rotax that makes aircraft engines, and this is a derivative of the motor used on the BMW F650 Fundoro of the 90s. The Gold Star is powered by a 652cc single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine that produces 45 bhp and 55 Nm of torque. Getting off the line can feel slightly slow at first, but get the BSA moving and its sweet and addictive mid-range acceleration will blow you away. There's a rugged clatter from the motor that can feel crude at first, but then slowly begins to grow on you with each passing mile. The 5-speed gearbox feels quite smooth, but a gear shift indicator wouldn't have gone amiss, just like a 6th cog wouldn't have either. The 213 kg weight can be felt slightly in the corners, and so can the heat from the engine in heavy traffic. Although I wouldn't define the Gold Star as lazy or lethargic at all. Its riding position is a plus point too. Feels like you're seated on the bike rather than in it, with a comfortable and commanding view ahead, with hands relaxed at the relatively flat handlebar. I did find one irregularity while riding, and that was the consistency of the fueling. At first, I assumed that this may have been because of low fuel, but after filling up, it persisted. If a constant speed is maintained at a constant rev, let's say in 4th or 5th gear, power delivery tends to be slightly irregular. Another issue I faced was the rear suspension setup, which feels soft, especially when compared to the front. When cornering hard, the rear tends to bounce a bit while the front feels more direct. BSA also must be commended for the quality of the brakes. They do an excellent job at bringing this single cylinder motorcycle to a halt. The exhaust note has a raw appeal to it and sounds guttural as well. All in all, the BSA Gold Star 650's performance can be described as exciting with a healthy side of torque.
Now I have to admit I had quite high hopes from the BSA Gold Star 650, and I'm happy to admit that I've come away quite impressed with what this motorcycle has to offer. I like the performance, I like the design, but I do feel BSA needs to pay a little more attention to the finer details of the bike. My biggest concern is the dealer and service network, which will be selling a premium product, and that requires premium service. At Rs 2.99 lakh ex-showroom, it undercuts its biggest twin-cylinder rival, and that is a good thing. In conclusion, I'd like to sum up by saying that BSA has given the Gold Star 650 the power to take on the competition, but it needs a little more polish, and I like the gusto with which it's entered the Indian market. Just that little bit of polish should allow it to shine through to the intended audience. Until next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye.